So, I just wanted to talk today about some of the things in entrepreneurship people don't tell you about. I feel like when people talk about starting businesses, like you picture like Oprah, and you picture like the Wolf of Wall Street, like just something glamorous and fun. And I do know that some people talk about problems as well, but I kind of feel as though like certain day-to-day things that there are that people don't really mention. Like, for example, how broke you will be, how much money it takes from your personal finances. And sometimes the fact that you may need to start a job or have another job in order to pay for your business. Now, I know that that may seem like counterintuitive. I'm getting a job to pay for my other job, but yes, certain things in terms of operational expenses, for like before when you start your businesses, such as your website fee, like how much it costs to host your Shopify account, which is $29.99. I can't remember how much exactly a Squarespace account is, but it should be in like around that same area. So that hosting fee, the fee for Facebook ads, just advertisement, the whole advertisement marketing, whether that's Facebook ads, whether that's Google Shopping, whether that is paid Pinterest ads, influencer marketing. So yeah, sometimes in the case of being an entrepreneur, you have to get one job to pay for the other job, which gives you two jobs. In addition to all the other jobs you're also taking on as an entrepreneur, which is the second thing that people don't tell you, how many hats you have to wear. As somebody that owns a product design company and is launching a few others, and I can get into that in another video. You have to be the product designer. You have to be, in some cases, the graphic designer. You have to be um, marketing. You have to be advertising. You have to be production and manufacturing in some cases. You have to be logistics and shipping. And you have to be customer service. And you have to be a sales representative. All of these things are individual jobs that you yourself as one person now have to do.
I can't. Get out.
And because of this, because of you have the fact that you now have to do these multiple jobs, you now have an extended workday. Most people go to work at 9 and get off 5, right? That's if you have one job. And just think about the fact that let's just say you need a full-time job to pay to start up your business. That's already 8 hours of your day. You then also have to go and do, depending on the type of business you have, those to take the other hours of your day. Something else that people don't tell you is how disciplined you need to be. It's not easy getting up at 4 a.m. every day or working an 8-hour day and then going to bed at 1 a.m. to get back up at 7 a.m. Like, that's not discipline. Like, that discipline isn't realistic for a lot of people, including me. Like, I currently don't have a full-time job, and so maybe, and like, I can get into that also, but I currently don't have a full-time job other than working my business. Like, my business is my full-time job, which gives me that much more anxiety because I have a timeline based on my savings. Um, until that runs out, and then I may need to, because I had one before COVID started, but then with COVID, so thankfully I was able to save up from that. And at that time, I was like working at that job. I was working at a gym as a receptionist, and then when I got home at night, I was doing my own business. And this may be terrible to say, but I was thankfully that I had a job where I could like get away with being on my phone sometimes, because like if you weren't serving somebody, you're kind of just like behind the desk. And while I was behind the desk, I would be like working on my Instagram profile, working on my Pinterest profile, posting to Facebook. So I kind of feel as though while I was working that job, that that gave me the time to like also do my own thing simultaneously. And I feel like it's important to have a type, if possible, to get a job where you can do that. Like, for example, if you are working in a retail store, and you have to, sometimes it may be a bit hard to get away being on your phone, or if you may be I don't know. Just think of a job where it's like impossible for you to be on your phone, like a truck driver. Like, if that's the case, yeah, like try to look for jobs where you have downtime and it's possible for you to like say, oh, well, I'm not doing anything right now. Let me jump on my phone really quick. If you can do it inconspicuously, yes. If not, totally don't do it. It's not worth you getting fired over. Um, so yeah, from the finances that's needed, and then also people, I feel like people say, okay, this is the idea. This is what we do to get started. But what happens when we fail? Like I am in, I would say my fourth iteration of business at this point. When I originally started, I was a straw goods company, and then I pivoted to being a footwear design company because that's what my background is in terms of product design. And when as I had issues with that and issues with footwear, I like pivoted back to accessories, and then COVID happened, and so that sort of just like brought down sales as a whole across product categories. And now I'm trying to pivot again to see, okay, like what other services can I offer? Um, all of these things, like what to do when you fail. Like, do you pivot to the next idea, or do you pivot within your original idea? And I kind of feel like not having somebody to bounce these ideas off of. So having a mentor, that's something that you should probably get that a lot of people don't tell you. And also getting a mentor isn't always the easiest thing. Like finding somebody who has been through your exact experiences before, and then also how about being able to have access to that person. Like if you want to own a clothing brand, like you may not know somebody that owns a successful clothing brand. So what do you do? Do you just email around the person, or do you, so like that's where networking comes in, saying, okay, I know somebody that's a business owner that may not necessarily own a successful clothing brand, but they own a dry cleaning company, or they own a restaurant, or they own a food truck. And hey, they may be able to say, tell me something about marketing. Like as different as you feel as though the fields may be, there's always something to learn from everybody. And so I kind of feel that that's why it's always important to like talk to people in different aspects of business and entrepreneurship, even though they may be in different sectors, whether it's the restaurant industry or I don't know, they may own a jet ski company. Like all of these things are really important. And I kind of feel as though all of these things aren't really things that people tell you when you start. So yeah, like I kind of feel as though these are things that I wish that I had been told. And I kind of wish also like, and then also if you can like try to hang out with like-minded people. Like I I could count on one time the amount of times this year, and that's before COVID, that I went out and had a drink with a friend. And it was exactly twice with two different people. I went out once with two different people, and that's something else. Like every time you're out with friends or you're out socially, you always think about what you could be doing during the time that you're with them, especially if they're not like a close friend. Like, and that sort of causes you to reevaluate your friendships because you are reevaluating your time and you want your time to be, I don't want to say the most profitable, but you want your time to be the most like worthwhile. So you try to only save your time to spend your time with people that mean something to you. And that has caused me to like edit a lot of my relationships to say, okay, if this person isn't bringing me any value, this person isn't bringing me joy, and that's not to say that it should be a parasitic relationship about what they can bring you, but if there's nothing to be gained, why are you hanging out with this person? Because everything takes time, and I feel like being a business owner causes you to reevaluate that in a way that you wouldn't if you had more free time in your hands. It causes you to reevaluate time also in terms of, watching television, like being on social media when it's not relevant to creating content, when it's just relevant to like absorbing content. That's something that takes up time as well, and it causes you to sort of reevaluate time in terms of all these things. Is there anything else? Yeah, I think that's it. I hope it was helpful to you guys to hear some of this stuff. Yeah, I just wish I had some. Oh, and like also if possible, try to hang out with like-minded people. Try to find an accountability partner. That's something I've yet to find. I've tried to do that in the past with friends that I thought were like-minded, but it didn't work out. And so I do feel as though entrepreneurship can be very, very lonely. So if you do have somebody, whether it's to just like bounce ideas off of, to say, hey, does this make sense to me? Does this make sense to you? Um, to say, hey, like I need to get this X amount of Z, get X, Y, and Z done by Friday. Do you have anything to do? Like maybe we can get together and like I don't know, pop popcorn and just like working on computers together, or just like meet up at a coffee shop together. It's just sort of like I think one, and that's one of the things I miss as well, being a part of a team because a team does provide encouragement. And so I don't know, like any meetup groups for entrepreneurship, and it's like, and that's not to say that you should be sharing your ideas with everybody. Just find somebody that you trust. Find a mentor, whether it's ours, and if possible, also somebody maybe that's on the same journey of you because journey as you, because I think all of these things do help to contribute to your success. I hope this was helpful. All of these are things I wish somebody had told me. And yeah, I'll see you guys in a few days. I'm gonna try to upload videos twice a week. Let's see how that turns out. But yeah, hopefully we can talk soon.